Me trying to save Urabosa. Now, if you're a big fan of my channel, which probably is safe to say that it's all three of you, you should all know that I am a big fan of Breath of the Wild. It's the most exciting game since Wand of Gamelon.
You've killed me!
Good.
It's the most exciting thing since Rule 34 Midna and Tingle. If you're watching this video, you already know the Age of Calamity seemingly dropped out of nowhere, RKO style. And I've been meaning to talk about it, but Sweet Lady Life and Corona-chan have been keeping me right behind that black ball. I've also done videos talking about making a Breath of the Wild sequel that you can be proud of, so if you're interested in those type of theories and thoughts and all that other good stuff, then videos linked in the description. But now we are on it. Let's make a pretty badass Breath of the Wild prequel. Also, my analytics says the majority of you aren't subscribed, so if you could please hit that subscribe button, be a beautiful bastard, and help out Casual Sign. He could use those red button presses. But with that said, let's go ahead and go into what we're talking about. Now, I could milk this into numerous videos, and I mean milk, baby dry. I'm talking Disney remake style milking. I'm talking using fear to make people vote for you, Republican and Democrat style fear. But I want to go ahead and get all of this into a one and done. I'm talking speed run this baby. I'm talking patched out backwards long jumps. So with the story, one thing that I've noticed with Age of Calamity is at least the trailer looks like it took some elements from the book Creating the Champion. I want to expand on that. For instance, on some of the key battles. Some of those key battles that need to be held in Age of Calamity, the defense of Fort Hatno, I feel like that's going to be a given, but I remember the whole miracle at Fort Hatno, and for this brutal battle, Link and Zelda should go through the same path because I'm pretty sure there's going to be like a general story. What I would like to see is I would like to see the characters go through their own individual paths rather than just the majority like the same exact path. That if they did the same exact path for all of them, that would seem somewhat underwhelming. Now granted, of course, since they're all fighting on the same side, is going to, for more or less, going to be the same path, but it can't be a one-to-one. I doubt they're going to do that, but I just want to mention that as of right now. So yeah, defense of Fort Hatno, I want Link and Zelda to go through that same path, possibly towards the later parts of the game when shit gets really bad. It feels too predictable to make this a later part, so I don't know if Nintendo will add some good filler into it or not. Not garbage filler like a Naruto filler, I mean like good filler, like My Hero Academia filler. The Akala Citadel needs some major shine. It seemed like it's going to based off of what was seen in some of the trailers. Or at least, I think it was just in one trailer they showed the Citadel like exploding and on fire. The Akala region was one of the most interesting regions to me. I need an epic grand battle there. Shit flying overhead, bodies falling from the castle stronghold, you know, the works. I need it to be so chaotic, so grandiose that you could bring back mid-2000s AMV music to it. You know, that type of music that was used in all of those old YouTube videos with the anime music videos. You know though, you know what I'm talking about. I love to mention them, but I'm scared of them now. I'll get claimed. Like, even thinking about it, I probably already got claimed. The battle that ruined the Temple of Time should definitely be something else that was covered too. That's one of the things that I wanted to really go into detail with that Breath of the Wild didn't do. It just left it there like, oh, it's just in ruin. And I'm not sure if it was because of the 100 years or because of the battle. My guess would be, of course, because of the battle, especially with the guardians that are all around it. Speaking of, while we're on the plateau, there was like a structure that's built into the plateau. I would like to know if there was anything there. Can we actually go inside of it? Because there's clearly a structure that's there, but it's been caved in with dirt and debris and all that stuff. That should be something that's mentioned in Age of Calamity. I would absolutely love if that's the case. Even more so, I can't remember if King Road, did he die? I guess at like the last stand, was it? I think the Citadel was the last stand. But I'm wondering if King Ro's last stand was at the Temple of Time, because you know he's buried on top of that mountain in the plateau, however the fuck you say a plateau. But anyways, the plateau is where he's buried at. So I'm wondering if that was like a last stand, maybe, possibly, I don't know. The battle, or at least the invasion of the Zora domain, should be a pretty spread out battle, I think, because there was that one guardian that was at the bottom of the ravine. So I feel like there should definitely be some battles there. I think there was gameplay that showed an attack being used there. So I'm no question, I'm pretty sure there's going to be fights in Zora's domain. But specifically, I want it for seeing the king of the Zora actually toss the guardian into the ravine, which he should be playable, by the way, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. I need to see that happen, though. The king is much younger, about 100 years knocked off, so he should be able to drop some fools easily. The Typhlo ruins. Now, I know how old the Zonai is, so I can't say that that's going to show anything at all in Age of Calamity, but still, that's still 100 years ago. But man, this should go without saying, though. For the love of God, give me some Zonai insight. Like, god damn. Something that we can get some kind of information on the Zonai. Like, you've made this so intriguing that it's like, damn, what the I want to know about the Zonai. Now, there's a bunch of other battles that I would like to highlight to be added in Age of Calamity, but just so this doesn't go on forever, one of the last ones I would want to do is the Coliseum. I want to see more of the gruesome stuff that took place there. We can figure out some things in the origins of the Coliseum. Was King Ro a full dick and watch people and monsters fight to the death there? Why is it there specifically? Why does it even exist? There is a cool cast of characters that should be added in, and they're probably going to get added in, but just in case, I don't want to leave anything on the table. Cass's mentor is the first thing that comes to mind. I want to see how this plays out. I remember in the stories about Cass's mentor, he was depressed that Link was winning over Zelda, which, the fuck, man. Link is, alright, we gotta level out here. Link is the most boring ass character. I like Link, he's cool, but he's boring as shit. I get he's supposed to be the player, but the fuck, man. I just don't see myself as Link or the main focus. He just seems like a hollow vessel and that's it. I feel separate from him, but he's so goddamn bland. How do you fall for this? You could say it happens off screen, but Link is boring. The same for Mipha. Like, why the hell would you fall for someone who has a personality of drywall? If Link was, say, charming or charismatic or something like that, something that you can actually grasp a personality to, then that would make sense. But he's just bland. He's plywood. Whatever, relationship ex machina though. I'm spending too much time on it. Pyrrha. Yes, my baby girl. Well, baby girl, but legal baby girl now, which raises a dilemma about current Pyrrha, or at least the one that's in the original Breath of the Wild. She's in a child's body, but she's over a century old. So the question I pose is, if anybody tried to get with Pyrrha, would that be an FBI open up moment? Because she's still 100 years old, but she's in a child's body. And in Age of Calamity, she's already aged up, so you've seen her in a more of an adult body before. All right, it makes my head hurt. FBI open up? Anyways, give her some Sheikah tech to fight and join the battle with. She specializes in runes, so it would be cool to see her fight or use her runes to actually engage in combat. I know they have Zelda with the runes and the Sheikah slate, but I feel like they should have different variations of their attacks with their respective slates. And I'm guessing maybe because I feel like there should be more than one slate, because they're Sheikah, they're brilliant. They make robots and all this other crazy crap. Making more than one Sheikah slate should not be out of the realm of possibility. Even more so, she could probably make her own specialized runes for actual combat, or use her age or body manipulation technology to make her charge attacks change her body shape or something wacky like that. Make her fighting style technical and situational and off the wall like she is. Make it reflective of her personality. Robbie, you've already seen Robbie, and he looks cool as shit. He's got that Japanese street punk kind of thing going with the pompadour, and I'm here for it. I fucking love the shit out of it. Get Robbie geared up with Guardian technology and maybe like a running tech based fighting style using Guardians to fight. Maybe make his charge attacks be infused with Guardian limbs or weapons appearing and disappearing. Or as he commands Guardian types he's created. Matter of fact, if it's not like this infused thing, then he could probably just have Guardians fight on his behalf. Maybe he walks forward and the Guardians attack and they make like a perimeter around him. That would be pretty cool. Or he could be inside a Guardian mech. I'm down for that too. Either one of these should reflect Robbie's personality, in my opinion. I think he's got that kind of finesse swag style. I mean, he was able to pick up a younger female, so he's got some swagger to him, like no question at all. So we can make it fit his personality. And the king, yes, the king. Give him a sword, or you know what? Give him a trident. Especially since he has this King Neptune kind of look. Even more so, let's get a wild side of him. It's similar to Daruk. Let's do this. Make him a grappler. Let's give him some Zangief tendencies. I mean, you have Daruk that attacks and he has his Goron fighting style, but let's make King Ro, let's let him down. Let's show a different side of this man. Instead of just this boring, regal, prestige, uppity kind of personality that he's given off, at least when he was alive, rather than after the fact. When you become a ghost, reality really sets in. So before he was king, say like the rambunctious kid side of him, if he had one, hypothetically, let's make him a grappler. He suplexes, he body slams, he German suplexes, he DDTs enemies. That would be cool as shit. Just make him a wrestler, make him a grappler. He can use a sword too, that's cool. But him being a grappler would be sick. Anyways, move on because I can stay on that all day. Hetsu. Seeing him fight with some maracas or something like that would be pretty fun. Maybe Deku sticks and leaves as alternative weapons. They live for the long periods of time, so it wouldn't be surprising. He would definitely be in prime fighting age. I know Kokiri are not supposed to be warriors, but it's trying times, so let's go ahead and add him into the mix. The more the merrier, as the saying goes. And yes, the King of the Zoras, I absolutely need him in the game. He can have a trident or he could be the grappler. I need a fucking grappler. But his makes possibly even more sense than the king. Especially since he threw that Guardian into the ravine. Like, he picked this fucker up and just chunked it into the ravine. So that's grappler. That's grappling. Link doesn't do that. I don't recall Daruk ever picking up any giant creature and tossing it somewhere. I mean, I bet he can, but I've never seen it. Rivali's Falco ass isn't doing it. And Urabosa, my God, Urabosa. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. Whew! She's not doing that. She'll shock that ass, but she's not tossing him. So yeah, the king could be a grappler. And one of the ideas that I brought up previously as far as Ganondorf, I would like there to be two sides to Ganondorf. I'd like there to be the evil malice demise part, also kind of semi-spoiler, I guess, if you've never played any of the other Zelda games that kind of allude to what's really causing all this to happen, like the origins of it. But I would like there to be two sides of them, especially with the tapestry that showed the red/green figure. Especially, for instance, when Impa explains Calamity Ganon and the origins of how all this got started within this current version of Hyrule Kingdom. But I would absolutely love the idea that Ganon is the actual hero trying to stop, I guess, a reincarnated Bizarro version, whatever. Like the bad Ganondorf and the good Ganon. Because I think of the good Ganon, or at least the misunderstood Ganon from Wind Waker, because he even had a somber look on his face like, I don't really want this, but it feels like this is the inevitable fate. And even when he gets 86th, or however the hell you say it, 69th, the end of Wind Waker, he has that look on his face. It's almost like it's this crazy kind of, I'm relieved that this is over for me face. It's really sad. It's really sombering. So showing a different side of Ganondorf, I think, would be exceptional. If they don't do this in the sequel, definitely say do it in the prequel. I have no idea what's going to be in store, but that would be such a sick idea. On a side note, since I'm jumping around, that little Guardian Ego thing is so cute. I'm going to call it Testy, actually, because it looks like a testicle. I want it to survive. Please survive somehow. It's probably not going to. It's probably going to have a sad ending for our little egg testicle companion, but I would like it to survive. It's not an original Breath of the Wild, so it probably didn't survive, and I would assume if it's Sheikah technology that it should last for a long ass time. It should easily last into the original Breath of the Wild, but it's probably gonna go. That's gonna suck. Pikango. I actually almost forgot about him. The painter guy. I think he's Sheikah as well. He should fight in the war with his painting. That would be such a cool character concept as far as the moves and all that stuff. It would give me It gives me some Okami vibes by doing him painting and fighting. He could be DLC if it doesn't make perfect sense in the story, but that would be really cool. I don't know how he would do it, but we need that in there. Anybody that paints and fights has always been cool in fiction, so let's go ahead and add your boy in there. He wants to throw down. He'll be the badass Bob Ross of Hyrule. He'll be like, you see that little tree over there? This will be our little secret. And you want to know what that secret is? I'm gonna fucking ram you face first into that tree. There's not gonna be a damn thing left by the time I'm done with you. Link's family. This is something that I think is ripe for opportunity to be explained in Age of Calamity. I'm not sure if they were thinking as far as I would think, because me trying to make a Breath of the Wild, I'm going nuts to sack to ball to wall. And that makes no fucking sense. But just know, it's me trying to make the flawless game that I feel like all of these can be. Since it's going to be a trilogy, that I can make all of these games be. But let's delve into Link's family. I would like Link's dad to be a warrior, or actually, plot twist, his mom is the warrior. This would be really great, as we could finally get to see Link and his family in some capacity aside from vague mentions. I want the dad to be a blacksmith. Maybe he can forge and boost and create weapons for you, and maybe even brand new options for weapons. And the mom is actually a playable character, and she can get in some ass. Could you imagine that Link's mom kicking ass? How fucking cool that would be. Can we talk about that for a second? That would be fucking insanity. Link's mom stomping ass. You can't tell me that doesn't sound appealing. But I can mention characters all day. I need some relationship building. Even on top of the already built and established relationships, let's uncover some more of the story and the world. Strengthen bonds with Mipha, Link, Urbosa, and Daruk, and Rivali, and any other playable characters, or new playable characters if that comes about. Show me some psychological trauma, the same way Zelda broke down and cried. I need that across the battlefield. Like, this is called Age of Calamity. I know it's a Warriors game, and Warriors games are notorious for just being to mow down dumbass enemies, and it really sucks, but it's Age of Calamity. I need a Calamity, or at least there needs to be a difficulty setting. You can have your novice, your easy, you know, your standard shit, novice, easy. I was about to say EV. Easy, medium, hard, maybe legendary, and then have Age of Calamity. Because it's a Calamity. They, on record, lost this battle. It shouldn't be a cakewalk. It looks wrong for you to completely, like, there's a disconnect that Warriors games can have, because there are some missions that historically, depending on which side that you play, you've lost those missions in a Dynasty Warrior game, or I guess even a Samurai Warriors game too. When you completely obliterate the other side, but you still lose, it doesn't make sense. It feels weird. It's like, I won, but I still lost. And then vice versa. I lost, but I still won. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So there needs to be an Age of Calamity setting to where you just get your shit just plastered. Like, that's what needs to happen, because Age of Calamity, it's in the title, Calamity. It's not a walk in a park when something's called a fucking calamity. For instance, with this damn pandemic, we have a bit of a calamity right now. I know I'm dating this video by saying that, but you know what I mean. Another thing that I believe that we would need that would be really cool, we need some betrayal. We need to introduce new characters that are really cool, but they turn out to be massive dicks without telegraphing anything at all, but leaving very, very, very subtle hints when you go back after the fact that still fit the character's personality and their activity, and give me some Game of Thrones style character development, but make them from seasons 1 and 4. Only I need Littlefinger to not be stupid Littlefinger, or pretty much everyone else in Game of Thrones after seasons, I'd say about 6 maybe. But yeah, let's keep it Age of Calamity style. Let's keep it from being predictable. It's a bit harder because you all literally know how the story ends, but it doesn't have to be that way. We can subscribe to the multiverse theory. I mean, hell, Zelda already has. Have it to where it's with different timelines. So why not here? Branch the story. One where champions win, and one where champions lose, and all that happens in between. For example, a special timeline where one champion actually beats a blight, for example, but succumbs to the wounds, and the defeated blight, thanks to Ganon's malice over time, were able to reform. the same as all the other enemies Link defeats in the overworld. Fighting a revivable enemy is sort of Age of Calamity shit right there. I know I mentioned DLC earlier, but let's elaborate on that. You could bring in the old Hyrule Warrior characters as DLC. It wouldn't greatly or vastly affect the game. You could do like some winks and a nod maybe here and there, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the case at all. You could update the movesets, make them more stylized to fit Breath of the Wild like I've mentioned, and well, throw in a playable Guardian is good measure. If Robbie's not said playable Guardian character or however the hell you want to incorporate him. And with the clothing, I mean, it's a small thing. Give Link all the clothing option he has in Breath of the Wild, including DLC. And give the other characters various clothing items, including referential clothing items. For example, Daruk wearing a Goron armor would actually be pretty cool. That may grant heat resistance to fire attacks in game. He should already be resistant to heat, but I don't know. I'm just spitballing shit at this point. The Zora Armor for Mipha, like they don't have to have just their champion garb. They should be able to have other like armors based on their domain, or even more so, you could switch it up. Have it to where there's more of a relationship than given, and say Rivali has Zora Armor, for example, just because maybe he has some kind of relationship with the Zoras. I mean, with Zelda lore, I can't remember, are the Rita and the Zora, they're kind of like one and the same in a weird way. Like for instance, I think the Rito in Wind Waker evolved from the Zora. Did they? I think they did. I don't fucking know. Zelda's kind of weird at times. But yeah, you can have that. Their respective domain clothing options, or clothing options specifically made from other villages. That because they have respect for, I mean, because it doesn't matter what race I am. I'm going to have, like, if I'm a Goron or if I'm a Gerudo, I'm going to have respect for the other races. So if I can make some cool, useful clothing for the other champions, then why the fuck not? Or even more so, maybe the champions can have the original garbs that the new champions have, the ones from the original Breath of the Wild. The champions can reference the new champions, and then even more so, you know what? Zelda could reference her mom. Maybe they can make a special made outfit that's supposed to be referenced to Zelda's mother. That would be really cool, because we don't know a damn thing really about her other than like vague mentions. Or even cooler, well, I don't know if it's even cooler, but it's definitely cool as hell to mention as well. Why not have the Hyrule, like just the kingdom, since they're with the rest of the knights, give them all specific knight armor that they have the options to wear. They probably won't wear it, but it's cool to give them that option as well. Options are always nice. I remember how the original Hyrule Warriors is, and then I also know how general Samurai Warriors and Dynasty Warriors games go. Let's make it a hub world as far as the gameplay setup. So it's more of a modern game setup. Dynasty Warriors does this too, I think for the newer ones, but for a lot of the older ones, they used to do this other, like this options menu. I mean, you do options menu for all of them, but I like it to where you can open the garrison and then go straight into battle. Now, I need it to be a little more immersive than they're just standing outside waiting for you, because that's just kind of fucking weird. But I need it to be you have to walk a little bit, I guess, to go towards the battle, if that makes sense. That would be a bit more immersive. And I guess as you get towards them, or when you open the gates or the garrison or wherever the hell that you're stationed at before the fight, they're coming from a distance. So it's more of a immersive, this is a war actually happening kind of thing. Or even more so, it could be that they're like knocking at the door or something, or they're trying to scale it, and while you're at the hub world or the hub location that you're at, there's like guards and stuff, and then they're like fighting to keep them out. Maybe like some little animations here and there. Maybe show a Bokoblin barely making it over the thing before getting knocked back down, and there's like loud booms and stuff, or just something to make it more immersive. Maybe I'm asking for too much. Maybe nobody gives a shit about that, but I'm a big proponent of immersion. I do like that it appears that they've kept the Korok seeds. I mean, the Korok seeds, take what you want from them. They're not everybody's cup of tea, but I just want more collectibles in the game. Not necessarily Korok seeds. I'd like other collectibles, especially like weapons, gear, stuff like that. Even moves too. That would actually be pretty cool if you could collect different moves and abilities, or have like a judo or some kind of Some kind of dojo would be really cool to add in. Hopefully the maps are as big as they appear. I want to be able to explore Hyrule and see some other nooks and crannies. It would be really cool if you could find random things all over a massive battlefield, even if it's in specific locations that you can't leave out of. I would like that exploration to be still kept in, because it's taking almost tit for tat. It may be scaled differently, but I feel like it's still more or less a one-to-one with actual Hyrule. So I feel like you should be able to explore and find different things in different parts of the map. Treasure chest and all that kind of stuff, because that's one of the best things that made Breath of the Wild Breath of the Wild. You got to explore around, and if you're taking the map from Breath of the Wild, it may be a Warriors game, but you should still, to a certain degree, be able to explore certain things. That's just how I would like it. And to take it a step further, I would like battles to be able to take place at different elevations. I think you could, for instance, in Goron City, or at least on Death Mountain. But I would like for you to be able to like climb up to different battles and stuff like that, rather than just on flat surfaces, or just Death Mountain is that only you can fight at different elevations kind of thing. I think it should be different elevations all around, because Breath of the Wild is very vertical. There's different like elevations to things. And I really would like some mission objectives besides hitting the attack button with the occasional charge attack or Mushu attack. Let's get some more in there, which is the special attack. By the way, that's the Mushu if you're not familiar with Dynasty Warriors or Samurai Warriors. Give me some Bayonetta style attack combos where you can just mix it up. But the gameplay, you can swap enemies. I've seen that. I'm not sure if you can swap weapons mid-battle, but that would be pretty cool to have. I want weapons to be the weapons that are most likely to be used by the characters. I want Mipha to use graceful weapons other than just a trident. I want I want them to be able to use not just their signature weapons, I want them to be able to use creative weapons. Also, let me jump for fuck's sake. I can't remember if you could jump in Age of Calamity from the gameplay, but hopefully you can. And I'm glad that the maps seem to be fairly huge. For the Divine Beast, I want some Power Rangers type shit, just to be completely honest. I want them to be able to transform and hop into their respective Divine Thunder Zords. God damn, how cool that would be. To be able to just mow down mobs of guardians and stuff like that, and you're in this giant elephant Megazord, or the camel Megazord. That would be fucking cool, man. I would love for them to have some Power Ranger style outfits, but I know that's going way out there. But goddamn, how fucking cool would that be? But make this a playable struggle. I can't stress this enough. It's called Age of Calamity. I know Koei, they make brain dead AI. I love Warriors games, but I'm not going to bullshit you. If you've seen my channel, I don't bullshit you. I try to be as upfront and honest as possible. I love it, disclaimer, but I need difficulty. I need for this shit to be hard. I want to struggle for survival. I don't want to just mow down enemies. That fucking sucks. And I'm scared that they're going to do that. Make a calamity mode. Let us have our cake and eat it too. If you have people that want it on baby mode to where they don't want to struggle to survive, that's cool. That's your prerogative. You play for the game. You play it how you want to. You should be able to allow it to play how you want to. But I'm so vested into the story. I want to be struggling for survival because I love the story that much. So it would really immerse me if I would be struggling. I wonder what else they're going to add into it. I do like that they added shield surfing into it. I would love some slow-mo dodging. I'm not sure if that's in there or not, but hopefully they do. Other champions should have their own special skills and abilities, not just like one or two, but I mean like an array of them. They're skilled fighters. They're not just like maybe one, two trick ponies. That sucks. Like really craft quality fighting characters into them with a bunch of different abilities. I'm not saying like a ton, but give me more than like one or two. Seriously, that would make it very underwhelming if it's just stuck at one or two. Why should it just be one or two? Anyways, I want to find out about the events that led to Lon Lon Ranch being in ruin if the calamity caused it, which I think based off of what I've seen, I think it did cause it. But I want to know. I want to know the Zonai being in the mix. I want to know anything about that. Introduce to us a Zonai character. It turns out that this is an actual descendant or something, and maybe he's tied to a character that's in Breath of the Wild. And let's take it a step further too. Let's have the antagonist side. And not only just the antagonist side, let's have some generals, some actual playable characters on the antagonist side. Not no mindless villains or or mini or sub bosses or anything. I mean like actual characters, kind of like the one character or at least a couple of characters that are on, or at least in the Hyrule Warriors antagonist side. Just be able to pick some of them. And I mean like actual interesting, cool characters, not generic Poes or anything like that, even though that Poe in Hyrule Warriors was a dick. And lastly, can we just thank Aonuma for the fact that Urabosa is playable? Can we just talk about that for a second? And if you come at me with this Mifa shit, I swear on Daruk, I will find you and I will sell you a game with an art cover that took only 15 minutes to make in Photoshop. But my baby Urabosa is playable. Look at them abs, boy.
Oh my god, you could grind meat on it. Ah!
Alright, let me not get too distracted by this. Let's go ahead and cut down to the bottom of it. Let's showcase the royal family was a bad guy, actually. Let's make it a twist and tie in Keltonen into it as well. I'm going to guess that he was around. Whatever the hell happened to him that made him the way he is in Breath of the Wild, let's discuss that and let's discover that in Age of Calamity. The king and the person manipulating things is the bad guy, but that person was the victim of a horrible misunderstanding or something like that. We need to add some twist in. I can't stress that enough. That would be really, 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 really cool for storytelling. And like I said before, Ganon is actually the good guy, but it's probably Link in the Zona outfit. You know it's got to be the most boring outcome. Anyways, yeah, just there needs to be every little nook and cranny. Now there's some stuff that you could flesh out in the Breath of the Wild sequel, but I would like as much as possibly can happen. I want all that to be fleshed out in Age of Calamity. Because as I've mentioned before, or at least when I was talking about making this sequel, the Age of Calamity seemed like the party that took place before you even got there. Everybody packed up their beer, their drinks, all that stuff, and they just dipped. They're just gone. And only thing you're left with is like leftover streamers of what did happen. And now you get to be at the party, really hoping that they flesh out King Ro. I think that was his name. But I don't think he was a dick for no apparent reason. There had to have been some rhyme or reason to it, especially when you compare him to as a ghost. But like I said before, it could just be the fact that now he's a ghost. There's clarity in all the mistakes that he's made. So it could be that. But I like for him to be a little more multi-dimensional than I'm angry like while he's alive. I'm angry all the time. That is what they say in standard textbooks, boring as hell. But my biggest hope for Age of Calamity is that the AI has an option of doing more than just standing, like a bunch of Korax hanging out and waiting to be knocked down. I want Hinoxes and Moblins throwing the shit out of Bokoblins at you. I want AI to fight each other in disagreements. I mean, they're monsters after all. They're not like these super sentient beings. They work off their primal instincts. I can't believe Ganon is controlling them 24/7. They never get a chance to take a dump. Anyways, you're welcome, Nintendo. Once again, I have given you Oscar level content and quality suggestions that would make the finest developers bust nuts. But hey, at least Urabosa is playable. Me trying to save Urabosa. No!